Hey, what's up, traders? To watch this video for Friday, October 18th. The SPY showing you the daily chart here. Look at the last week. You've got one, two, basically 3, 4 days in the last week that the SPY closed pretty darn close to where it opened. You have one that actually looks like a candle here. So it's been weird, right? It's been gappy, but then the range on the intraday is narrow and ends up, being a flat day. I want to say not the best environment for day trading, but there's been a lot of good stuff actually. What are we watching for Friday? Let me try that again. Let's start with BIMI. It had a nice bounce today. Just quickly show you, for those that weren't in chat today, I called an opening range breakout on this. This was the opening candle right here, 466, pulled down a little bit, and then I saw SES ripping, and these two tend to run together. So I just said, hey guys, I like BIMI, opening range breakout. Look at this. These are 5-minute candles. So over the course of 20, 25 minutes, it went from my idea around 465, 466, somewhere in there, all the way up to 620-ish. I had a really big trade in that one. It was a nice day for me. But that was just, I made a little video about it, put it on Twitter, just an example of having the right stocks on watch and knowing which ones run with other ones. And sometimes you can just get an easy trade off something like that. Anyway, having said all that, let's go back to the daily. I want to watch this one again tomorrow because of that nice intraday move. Closed well off of its highs. And there's SES, 5-minute candle, same thing. See, when this one ripped, I jumped in BIMI. Ended up being a real easy trade. Again, I want to watch this one tomorrow too because these both had nice intraday moves, but both of them closed well off their highs. I'm a big fan of focusing on the recent high flyers, the in-play stocks, if you will. And sometimes you can find a nice intraday, fairly low risk setup like that one gave. BIMI, SES, OCGN also. This is kind of a weird daily chart, but you did have this big pop yesterday. Went all the way to 273. And then today, kind of a quiet inside day. Let's go to 15-minute candles. You can kind of see a little better. So there was the big rip yesterday. Actually got people long right around here yesterday, which was nice. Anyway, I don't like the fact that it closed at its lows, but it's still an inside day. And if we trade in a narrow range tomorrow and then break to the upside, you might get another little mini squeeze. So I do want to watch it, even though it's a weird looking daily chart. ENDP broke out above this 450 resistance back here. Hit it again here. I probably should have had this on watch today, and I didn't. But it did have big volume today and had a nice pop closing off its highs. But I think this one got that 200-day above. It might be staring at it. It might be wanting to get up there. So we're going to watch that one for a low-risk setup. CGC, not the prettiest of charts, right? One of the pot stocks. But back here, I kind of had that PFPD, potential final push down look. Then you got a nice bounce, couple days sideways, and then today a gap up and close near its highs. So, I don't know. You almost have to squint to see it. There's a weekly candle. When you go to weekly, look at that. Right off the 200-week moving average and a nice green solid candle. Unless it falls apart tomorrow, maybe even a good swing trade. I don't swing trade, but maybe even a good swing trade entry today or tomorrow. I like it if it can take out today's high tomorrow over 2091. We'll see. It depends on how it sets up, right? CTST. This one had a really nice 2-day run and then a gap up. So let's go to 15-minute candles. Trying to picture where I called this one the other day. I think I called it right here. Yeah, right above the 2-day high at 115. It's actually holding up pretty well. And today it topped out at 140, kind of little intraday cup and handle. I still like it as a potential long, but as always, only with a proper intraday setup. That one's interesting to me. GoPro. Not so pretty, just getting decimated back here, but then you did have a nice bounce, a day-and-a-half bounce that topped out at 385, sideways, and now curling back up again. So over this little sideways range, could have some more bounce in it. Not in love with that chart, just like I'm not in love with this AOBC chart, but it did have this nice pop back here, topping out at 705, and kind of flagging sideways. This is the old Smith & Wesson, so back through 7 with some volume is kind of interesting. DTSS, just a recent high flyer, slapped silly the last couple days, but I still like maybe an afternoon breakout in the thing. We'll see. And then CrowdStrike, CRWD, just hitting new all-time lows. Relatively recent IPO, and really just ever since it hit almost 70 back here, never broke a previous day's high and really just straight off a cliff. We're taking out all-time lows today. So a lot of times when you break all-time lows after falling for like 2 weeks straight, a lot of people think, well, that's a slam dunk short. There's no support below. I take the other side of that and say, if we get a proper intraday setup, this could give a nice snapback bounce tomorrow as it catches, shorts that are chasing here as it's hitting all-time lows without any regard to how far it's fallen, how quickly, right? It's a pretty good recipe for a snapback bounce. So watch and see RWD for a proper bounce play setup on an intraday basis. And that's it. We'll add some gappers to this list in the pre-market. Should be plenty to trade tomorrow. Trading's been pretty darn good. See you in chat.